Good morning. Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check. Hey, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. All right, let's get it. My name is Detavio Samuels. I have the privilege and honor of serving as the CEO of REVOLT. We are the #1 hip-hop platform in the world. Today, I'm here to talk to you about how we leverage the power of hip-hop to move culture and change the world. Culture sells. So from tech companies to massive consumer product brands, all of them are leveraging culture as a way to engage audiences, disrupt businesses, and find new ways to scale their business. Unfortunately, many people, unlike Dove, who's been successful at consistently finding potent ground to tap into in terms of culture, whether it's their Real Beauty campaign or their current Crown That campaign, many brands have find that kind of fertile territory to tap into. And while we know that there's tons of fertile ground out there to explore, we believe that great brands have to look no further than hip-hop. Hip-hop, which many people thought was going to be a dying fad, crushing it. And now you can see that hip-hop is now the #1 most powerful cultural platform that exists globally. It is the #1 most listened to music stream, period, and has a proven track record, revolutionizing business, breaking categories, and growing billion-dollar industries, from fashion to sports to tech, you name it. That said, you just jump into hip-hop, specifically without a track record. And so today I want to talk to you about 3 ways you can leverage hip-hop in order to scale your business in a sustainable and impactful way. 1, focus on finding partners to propel your business forward. Hip-hop is known for classic pairings, timeless partnerships, those things that have helped brands grow their brand elasticity, build new brand equity, and find new audiences. But remember, it's not about a popularity contest or those vanity metrics. It's about who really moves the needle for your brand and who can inspire people towards action. On top of that, #2, build a model that is anchored in collaboration. We do this every day at REVOLT. So instead of finding television shows and attaching talent to it, we find the dopest people in the culture who have voices that need to be heard. And then we work with them and collaborate them to find shows and build shows that they can be excited about. What we found is that culture is much more excited about promoting ideas and building ideas where they got to deliver them collaboratively with you, and you utilize their cultural expertise that they bring to the table. 3, see hip-hop as a source for new insights that can give birth to new products, ideas, and innovative thinking. Culture starts from the outside and moves to the inside. Culture is always going to start from the subcultures and from the underground and then make its way into the masses. So don't just study who's popular. Don't just jump into what the popular trends are. Study what's emerging. Study what's on the edges, and look to see if you can find fresh perspective or new ideas that can excite and innovate your brand. As my good friend Marcus Collins says in his book, For the Culture, remember this though, this to us is sacred ground and sacred territory. So when you step into it, approach it with a sense of appreciation and a willingness to learn and understand about the culture. Since the 90s, brands have always wanted to leverage the power and influence of hip-hop, not just as music and not just as sound, but as a way to cut across all different types of lifestyle brands and categories. Unfortunately, many of them have done this in a way that is disingenuous and inauthentic to the culture. And so they have earned themselves the unfortunate label of culture vulture. But there's an easy way around this problem. What we say is don't appropriate. Instead, amplify and appreciate and anticipate. Amplify and participate. 2 ways you can think about doing that. Find the voices that are already moving culture. Partner with them. Leverage your platform to give them greater scale and greater reach. 2, identify those emerging voices, those emerging artists, those emerging people, and give them validation. Point to them as people that people should be looking towards. And don't just do it externally, but do it internally as well. Find voices that reflect the culture. Don't just give them a seat at the table, but give them a place and a voice for them to be heard. And last but not least, whatever we do, we don't want to steal. We want to make sure that we always give credit where credit is due. Where we point to the source and the origin from which the place of which the genius that helped us build our brands and the dreams comes from. And there's nobody better who I can think of that did it most recently than Beyonce as she stood at the Grammys. At the end of it, as she talked about her Grammy Award-winning record renaissance, she gave love and appreciation to the LGBT community, who are the core people who originated the sound that she leveraged to become the most Grammy Award-winning artist in history.
game.
Thank you.
Woo!